We have Representative Haley with us from now until 4 o'clock. So the phone number is 978-9862, 978-WVOC. And if you have a question, comment for Representative Haley, this is a great opportunity to speak with the Lexington representative who wants to be the South Carolina representative. She wants to be our next governor. It's great to see you again. Thanks for coming on in. Welcome.
Thanks, Kevin. It's always fun to be here.
Yeah, well, I enjoy when you're here, and one of the things that I've gotten to know you over time has been, of course, the transparency thing, which everyone has championed you on for that, and it's been your thing. You've taken some serious political hits for it as a result of pushing for that, and we've documented kind of every step of the way how that's gone. But now it's a whole different world. Now you're out and you're traveling the state, trying to learn South Carolina. Everyone tells me this. I got to ask you this. Everyone tells me this when they get into a statewide race for the first time. Is South Carolina a lot bigger than you expected?
It's a small state, or we think it's a small state, but it's pretty big when you have to campaign over it. But It just makes you love it that much more. It's got its own culture, its own changes, and it's unique in its own way. I've loved it.
Well, I will tell you, it is a state that when people tell me they go from one corner to the other, you don't realize just how long you're on the roads, just how long if you're flying, it's just great people, yet very diverse people from, say, Anderson down to Charleston. Very different kind of people with different needs when you're a coastline, living on the coast versus when you're inland, when you're in the upstate. Just a very different dynamic group of people.
I absolutely love it. But the one thing that you'll find is the same is everyone in South Carolina understands that government's got to start working for the people. And that's the thing we continue to hear as we campaign across the state. That's the thing that I'm fighting for the most, is to make sure that government understands it's meant to work for the people and not the other way around.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that you are hearing in terms of the concerns, complaints, what people are telling you most. I mean, we are a state right now with 12% unemployment. We're a state right now where the prospects of improving on that number are not really good right now. I mean, there's nothing out there that's going to make you say, even when the economy turns around, wow, that's going to fix everything. I mean, we don't have something that we're just waiting to see come back. I mean, things can get a little better with the housing, of course. Things can obviously improve with tourism, things like that. But we're not going to see 12% just go away.
No, and you have to look at my background from being an accountant and being a small business person. The one thing I look is, what do we need to do to change things quickly? We have to take care of the small businesses that we already have.
Right.
We have to look at the unemployment numbers. The one thing you will see me push hard for is to eliminate the corporate income tax, which is for small businesses or big businesses, and also eliminate the personal income tax. When you give those businesses cash flow, when you give them profit margin, what's the first thing they do? They hire more people. Yeah. And it turns the economy quickly. The second thing is, everyone wants to talk about the 12% unemployment, but no one's talking about the companies that need workers. We are turning around. We need to skill our workers. We need workforce development to get them to work quickly. Right now, those companies are having to go out of state to get our workers. We can't allow that to happen. Those are the two things we could do quickly that would change jobs and change the economic development in this
When
state.
you talk about getting rid of the corporate income taxes and things like that, let's kind of delve into that just a little bit. I mean, I'm a big fan of getting rid of taxes. I mean, I think you've known that just listening to the program, being a guest on the program. I don't believe taxing is the way to add revenue. I think it's the way to damage revenue. So I'm all for it. What is the biggest hurdle there? I mean, most of the people in our General Assembly, it's dominated by Republicans, so you have that mantra being less taxes as a Republican mantra. Why has there not been a significant push for that?
Well, there will be when I become governor, because it is the one thing we could do that would quickly turn our economy around. When you turn around and give those businesses cash flow, that makes a huge difference. That gets people to put to work quickly. The second thing is, you can't go out of state and try and recruit companies and think they're going to come because you're nice. You have to recruit them because you're going to improve their bottom line, because you're a competitive state to do business in. That's when companies will start to look at South Carolina. That's when retirees will start to look at South Carolina, and they will invest their resources into our state. It will help education. It will help business. It will help economic development. It will help quality of life when we realize we have to be competitive. It's not about government-friendly legislation. It's about business-friendly legislation.
All right, so you just touched on something that I think a lot of people need to hear and want to hear, and that is, how does South Carolina go out and how does South Carolina attract business? And I think what you talked about in terms of giving them that incentive immediately launches you ahead of the majority of other states we're competing against. If you can say, by the way, as soon as you get here, you're not going to have that corporate tax.
Look at what we need to look at to be competitive. We need to be competitive against Georgia and North Carolina and the other surrounding states. Texas and Florida get looked at because they acknowledge the fact that that makes them competitive. What the other candidates have not talked about, and what I think is important, it's not about how many people you take and how hard you recruit a company. It's about making sure their profit margin makes sense. It's about making sure that when they come to the state, they're here for the long haul and not just a short duration. It's not about fee and lieu. It's not about trying to give them easy perks. It's about doing for them what we want to do for every business in this state, which is take care of all businesses in this state and make South Carolina a competitive place to have a business and to live.
One of the things, obviously we have to take a look at what's worked and what's not worked with previous governors. We have to take a look at what's working right now. One of the things I think has been a very fair point on the part of Governor Sanford when it comes to going out and trying to recruit is he says you can't give them such advantages that you're taking a look at everybody that's already busted their tail from day one here to build their business and just slapping them in the face. So he said you got to be careful when you go out and recruit. And I think that's a fair statement to make also. What you're talking about here will benefit everybody immediately.
It will take care of the businesses we already have, which is really where my passion is, to make sure that we take care of them. The second is it will easily allow us to recruit into the state in a way that's fair for everyone. That's how government should think, is you have to think in the long term. You have to think what's going to give you the best results in year 3 and year 5 and year 7, not about that quick, easy fix. That's what we've done for far too long. That's what I'm going to move to change.